The time now is
7:48.
The time check was brought to you by Seiko.
And we're back tonight with some international news. Japan's cabinet has approved a record $42 billion defense budget. The 2% rise in military spending is the third annual increase under Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's government. The budget must still be passed by Parliament, but Abe's coalition holds a majority in both houses. Officials say the situation around Japan is changing, and the level of defense spending reflects the amount needed to protect the country and its people. The new outlays will help pay for Osprey tilt-rotor aircraft, F-35 stealth fighters, Global Hawk drones, P-1 submarine hunting planes, and amphibious vehicles for a new military unit similar to the US Marine Corps.
After days of mixed signals, a Yemen affiliate of al-Qaeda has claimed responsibility for the Paris attacks. The claim has been made in a video posted online. The new development in the terror plot comes 1 week after a 3-day killing spree began with a massacre at a French newspaper. And today, the controversial Charlie Hebdo weekly hits newsstands for the first time since the massacre. James Aiken reports.
At a distribution center on the outskirts of Paris, a portion of the unprecedented print run of as much as 5 million copies of Charlie Hebdo is about to hit the streets.
Ça fait chaud au cœur quand même.
Distributing Charlie Hebdo warms my heart, says this delivery driver. He is still here. He never left. The highly anticipated edition is an emotional act of defiance by the surviving staff of the satirical newspaper, who've been working out of borrowed offices since the attack. This week's cover features a caricature of the Prophet Muhammad, holding a sign reading, "I am Charlie," with the words, "All is forgiven." As soon as he wrote the caption, cartoonist Renaud Louzet says he cried, and at that moment the staff knew the drawing would be the cover. Even before the new edition was released, Islamic authorities warned against publishing more cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad, saying the move would likely spark a new wave of hatred. Despite the warnings, demand has outstripped supply. Copies across Paris have quickly sold out. Meanwhile, a new amateur video has surfaced showing the gunman who murdered 12 people in the Charlie Hebdo attack. The video, shot from a nearby rooftop, shows the killers calmly reloading their weapons and then bearing down on a police car, blocking their path before speeding off. Some pieces of the terror plot are coming together for investigators who are learning more about the travel history of the attackers. And a Frenchman believed to have links to one of the Charlie Hebdo killers has appeared for an extradition hearing in a Bulgarian court after he tried to cross into Turkey. Meanwhile, France continues to remember the victims of the Paris attacks.
L'islam est la deuxième religion.
At a special session of the French Parliament, France's Prime Minister said that Islam is France's second religion, and now it's the country's challenge to be able to demonstrate this. James Aiken, TVB News.
A new Russian regulation that could deny transgender people the right to drive is drawing fire from human rights activists and members of the LGBT community. The decree was recently signed by Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev and published on a government website. The legislation lists illnesses that disqualify people from operating motor vehicles or obtaining driving licenses. It contains broad classes of psychiatric and behavioral disorders that are included in a classification section published by the World Health Organization. The decree does not explicitly ban transgender people from driving, but does include what are referred to as gender identity disorders, such as transsexualism, dual-role transvestitism, and voyeurism.
Traffic was disrupted at a national park in Thailand by an unlikely culprit. The presence of an elephant meant cars weren't going anywhere. The animal went on a rampage on a road running through the Khao Yai National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary. Here, the animal ripped off the bumper of a car. A young couple inside the vehicle escaped unhurt. Other drivers also reacted calmly, taking the stoppage in their stride. Khao Yai National Park is home to about 300 elephants. All right, Tony, sports.
That's right, some football to look at, some exciting stuff. West Ham reached the next round of the FA Cup last night after an exciting replay against Everton. In Italy, AC Milan were also on cup duty and had one eye on the quarter-finals.
AC Milan were looking to avenge an earlier league